Welcome into episode 102 of Coffee and Chel. It is officially worldwide launch of NHL 25. Myself and Stu are back with another season of Coffee and Chel, and it is early, so I am indulging in quite a bit of coffee. I have hit the 100 hours straight of being live. So the energy is not at an all-time high during my subathon. So if anyone that didn't get to watch or hasn't checked it out, I have been live streaming, including sleeping, eating, living on stream for the last, over 100 hours. So that being said, Stu, we've got many things to talk about, and I'm going to let you pick the topic of where we begin because this will be a tough one.
Let's start off positive. Let's talk about
Yes.
Your Seattle trip.
Okay, that's not where I thought we would go. Okay, let's start out positive. Okay. Actually, I don't know if I want to start this. Actually, yeah. Okay, yeah. A lot of the creators and the lifestyle creators as well. So that's like Nasher now, Swaggy P, Zach Bell, Powell Barber. EA invited us all out to Seattle for their NHL 25 Community Day. So this will be the second straight year that they did a Community Day after I think like a 5-year hiatus. I think so, because of COVID and obviously like that. So that said, got to meet a lot of people I haven't met before, like Burt Crown, who is my homie. I'm playing a lot of video games with him, and getting to see him was really cool. Polgs was back out there. Eki, all of the people that are that you expect with making they're making YouTube content and streaming and whatnot. So it was fun. It was jam packed this year. They planned a really good trip. There was never any downtime. Got to give a shout out to the community and the engagement crew at EA. I think they did a fantastic job with it. And we went to the Seattle Iceplex where they practice, and there he is. For everyone listening at home, Fisher has popped into the stream. It looks like he's awake. There he is. But anyway, so yeah, the trip was fun. We got to play a stream from the Seattle Iceplex. We got to go to the Seattle Kraken preseason game. My God, is Climate Pledge. That's how you know how tired I am. Climate Pledge Arena, amazing. It is a we got a tour of it, and like the technological advancement of that arena makes no sense. Like it is completely self-sufficient, like on energy. I don't understand how something that holds that many people doesn't need to use any bad stuff. But it's also really. Have you been there?
No, we were gonna go last year, I think, and then we decided not to. But it's not exactly obviously the closest trip to go to, and when we try to go out of town for like other teams, we try to hit like 2 or 3, and then obviously it's not. I would like to go though. Yeah, I would like to go. I think we might be shooting for like the Winter Classic this year and just taking it easy since it's in Chicago.
Yeah, it is a very weird arena from the outside because it looks like it's only one floor because the roof is street level. Because of the roof for the building was a historical landmark, and Seattle's very like green and very like they don't destroy things to put up new buildings very often. So they took the roof of an old building and they had to lift it up and then dig down. So if you're on street level, it looks like it's a one floor building. And then you get in there and it's a full arena. It was very.
Yeah, did you look in the glass upstairs? I was telling you to look in.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
I
think
so
Columbus, Columbus, they don't have like the same setup where it's like at street level, but they have like windows upstairs too in their building.
That's right. Yeah, there's only like a 200 level, I believe, in Columbus. It's a wide weird arena. For perspective, Toronto or Buffalo is really steep. So is New Jersey. So is Prudential Center, if memory serves. But Columbus is the seats go back really far.
My buddy works for that Oak. I think it's something group that like helps with those arenas. So he was like out there all the time when they were building that Kraken arena. Like, because I remember when I got to go. I went to Nashville with him, and he was like showing me. He was like showing me the mock up of it because of how they were having to take out the roof
Yeah.
and or dig underneath the roof but keep it up while they
Yep.
were building it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But they were like, I guess it was a big deal in Seattle to like keep that roof because it's so
Yeah.
historic.
Yeah, is it very yeah. So we got to go tour that. It was awesome. There was a lot of Seattle Kraken players that came through. We got to see some ins and outs of like your face. We had to get our face scan and see how you make a jersey in game. And
So, do you think you guys will be in the game if you had to guess? You don't have to say
in the
that it
game,
is.
no. Sorry, it was not a. It was more of like to show us the process.
Yeah, I still said like last year. I said that I still think you guys should be coaches in the game,
That's what I think too.
just instead of the random people. Because I know like I was when I played like with the devs this summer a little bit. Like I know that their names are the AI names, and they've been like that forever and ever and ever. Like the Gurndeep, Lewin, and like all those like random people. Like they use their devs names, but I still think you guys should be coaches instead of the random coaches that they put in the game, like Chris Wallstone, and using like a guy's Google. Is it? Didn't somebody say it was just like a random Google headshot or something? Like people like
Yeah,
looked it up.
headshots. I think they're Getty image headshots. But
Yeah,
this year they're it's like one first and last namers each one dev. It's they wanted to use that as a shout out to their dev team, and I
yeah.
didn't they make the game, so I'm not gonna be like
Mhm.
that's kind of bull, so. I understand that. So I would love it if our faces. Well, imagine where the if they took our,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like if they used our faces for it, that'd be kind of cool. But it is what it is. Anyways, it was very well done by them. I mean, I've only been on three because of COVID. It wiped it all out. That was by far the best one. Um, it allowed us to a lot of like I saw a lot of vlogs and whatnot. So there was a lot of content captured, and it was very very well done. So props to them for that. Also let's stay positive for the first little bit, even though everyone wants to be negative, and I don't blame them, especially if you are a hut lad. Dude, I can't. Yeah, this is gonna get this. We're at a point now. It almost feels like politics. If you enjoy NHL in any way, any portion of it, you're just like you're gonna get flamed. You know what I mean? Like you're not allowed to enjoy it, right? So as you know, I've played an exceptional amount because of my subathon. I can't remember a time where I have enjoyed gameplay this much, and there are flaws to it, and we'll get into that. There are things that need to be worked on, but part of me wants them to not touch it because I would rather them not touch it and make it worse when they try to adjust it, because that's my fear that they'll try and fix things in it, and it'll end up just busting the whole thing, and we'll be like, well, now we're screwed. But that being said, I don't remember a time where I've just been like, man, I just want to play Rivals. And again, we'll get into Hut. But what do you think about the gameplay so far since launch?
So I sent in a few, I guess you want to call them complaints. Not terribly. Like I like the gameplay, like you said. So this is not
Talk
like
about
that
what
big.
you like. Talk about what you like first, then we'll do the bad.
I like the one timer idea because like we talked about last year numerous times, like you couldn't even take a one timer if
No.
you're far away. I think if I was like super into Hut this year, it'd be cool to just because it's fun to like you know abuse, I guess, the meta. So
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun to like have a bunch of dudes with gold 1T and silver 1T because I think you would literally just score from everywhere. I like the fact that it feels smoother. I'm glad they got
yes.
rid of the LT or L2 figure skating. I think that's more fun. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think the graphics even look better. I know it's not gameplay, but I think the graphics even look better because now they can upscale it to like the new consoles.
Hmm.
Trying to think some of the other things with the gameplay. I don't know. I just think they polished up a
That's
lot of the stuff that maybe they haven't been able to or something. I don't know. I just think
yo.
it feels more polished.
Let me ask you this. I feel like there's never been a game where you can use all of the tools at your disposal defensively in an NHL game, because stick lifts
Yeah.
are work. Stick lifts work. Um, Again, I've only been playing Hut. You've been playing Versus. So the attributes are far different. So launch is a little tough because you can't bump anyone, and okay, I don't let me forget. I've reached out about moments because it feels like what it was last year, where it was like on arcade, right? But everyone has low body checking because all the good defensemen are fast. right?
Right.
And no one can bump anyone, and that's a product of the attribute mattering. And that I like that. I feel like attributes need to matter, right? So you have to be in position well. You know, it's a low key nice thing. You know the avoidance of the collisions. Have you noticed any of those? I've caught my
Not
guy doing like the slip by because in prior games they would just do one of these where they're like running into each other, like lock. You know what I
right.
mean? Now I'm
Mhm.
noticing at the blue line or if whatever, your AI will literally like just get out of the way, like make a motion that they're skating by. And I've had goals scored on me and against me because of it. And I'm like, that's what you said is the best way to say it. It just feels polished and cleaner. And that's what I kind of had a feeling. There wouldn't be any, it wouldn't feel like there's this massive change. It just, when you're watching it and playing it, it just doesn't feel as clunky from that standpoint. Now, it does
Hey,
feel slower.
real quick, we're doing a live pack opening here. I got on HUT because I haven't been on it, and like I got that pack with the the Drysdale, Line, Kemper, Sergachev, and
Yeah.
Landis card. Do those
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
anything? These cards? Like
So,
what? So what? Sorry, this is off topic.
no, it's all good. Yeah, we can get into HUD now. Actually, no. I'll come back to that.
No, we're saying gameplay. Just tell
Yeah,
me
let's
what
say
these
the
cards
gameplay.
do.
They upgrade via tokens that you can earn via the XP path.
Okay.
I'd pick Kemper or Drysdale and then not upgrade them. You get 5 of those packs, and then you get enough tokens to upgrade one card to 85. So I would take Kemper or Drysdale because those are the best cards at 80 overall, and then just leave them. And then I'd probably
Okay.
go Line A and upgrade Line A all the way. But Line A at 80 is like,
Oh, so you get
yeah.
this pack. You get this pack again.
You get it 5 times.
Okay.
So, anyways, the bad about game, not even the bad about. I see, like, I really don't think there's anything really bad. The unscreened
negatives.
D to D one timers
Yes, that's what I was. Yes.
yes, unscreened D to D one timers need a reduction.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like the goalie's getting pulled out of the way when you
Yes.
do it, and that needs to be dialed down a little bit. But when they start messing with the DDD or with the one timers, though, man, my fear is that like they're just not going to go in ever again.
Well, and they've said that to us. That's you know what I mean. Like they've agreed to it. Like that was my biggest complaint is once people like figure out like that's pretty much the way to score. It's just going to be
Dude, but
it'll be nonstop.
I was getting a little frustrated because like I was like, man, you got to be able to stop this. I went tight point, pucks out attack for like the first time in maybe 8 years. All right. And the manual player select, I don't know. They didn't improve it, but it's working more. And I'm wondering if it's because the AI is like spaced out, whatever. For anyone who doesn't know, you can hold down the right trigger and then aim the right stick in the direction you want to select a player. And then you can let go of R2 and it'll actually select it. So, dude, I have been eating guys alive by switching to my far side winger and just sticking on him at the blue line. The amount of people that still force it through because they want that one timer because the intercepts work. Like everything is intercepted. Almost to like that's another thing in the middle of the ice. It's very hard to get a pass through at all. And but I don't want them to. Again, I'd rather them keep it than try to mess a little bit. The other thing, the AI moves, man. Like it just wheels around. They don't stand still. I'm having a blast using behind the net. What are you using as an offensive attribute? Or
I'm running craps in that.
I know Crash has been pretty popular, especially off the rush. It's so good. I just don't like that once you're in the zone, man, they just go randomly. Like it's hard to find like predictability in it, but I know it's a lot. Overload is you would think would be good. I was using that early on. The problem is that the AI intercepts everything. So because they set up so wide, like there's a lot of space to go for a one timer. You just really, but behind the net, which I thought would be the worst because D2Ds and one timers are the thing. My God, is it good? You can dump and chase. You can run the puck around. Your AI far side winger will actually beat the defender now. Like, that is the most refreshing thing, maybe. You get across the blue line and then rip a pass all the way around if you've got full dump on the slider. And my winger will actually beat out the defender if the defender isn't manually controlled and going to play for it. So,
right.
Really loving that, like, because it feels fresh. And I know a lot of people, or the people that aren't enjoying it in terms of gameplay, said it feels slow. And I think that's because they're used to just going end to end and forcing passes right through the middle. Um, it definitely it looks like the way the game is set up right now, it promotes cycling the puck for one-timers. And when you start cycling, it's much cleaner and better to do it. So yeah, that's the good and the bad. What would you change? Just the D2D on-screen
That
one-timers?
D I also don't like how the pressure system goes off way too easily again.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
when you get a greened one-timer.
Dude, it could be like sometimes I feel like they're in the zone for 2 seconds and maybe they get like a green one tee from a mile away and
Mhm.
it's like boom, already up. I'm like, holy cow! Like it just seems like
It is being
yeah,
activated very like I think I see it at least a couple times a game, whereas at the end of NHL 24, I would see it once every like 3 or 4 games. But I also wonder, is that a product of us changing how we play? Because again, it's not just skate down the boards and huck a pass through the middle. It's cycle the puck for a while and then take shots that are like one-timers. And if the goalie saves it, like I guess that would be a harder save to make, but like in real life, you're not going to be exhausted from that. But anyways,
pressure
I
system probably like no, it probably was not. I get what they were trying to make, but it probably I don't know. It could probably be removed from the game for good, but they won't do that. But that's just my
I don't even,
but
dude. I honestly have gone back and forth on this. I don't know if they should. I think if it was dialed down to where it was in 24 at the end, like where you see it so rarely, and only if you're like egregiously beating someone up. We said this since the beginning. It's a very arcadey way to get to the result that happens in normal hockey. Like when dudes get stuck out there for 2 minutes. Oh, my camera went off. When guys get stuck out there for 2 minutes, or right, like they're not moving. Especially like on the penalty kill. Penalty kill would be a great example of it. Like when the penalty kill's out there for a full 2 minutes, they don't move. They're just a square. They're trying to unscreen, like get out of the way of their goalie to make a stop. And obviously there's no red bar going around the boards, be like, here's pressure. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of
yeah,
that's the annoying part, is that there's like this like arcadey look and feel to it. But I think again, it dialed back to what it was. It gets you to the results of real hockey, but it does it in a very arcadey way.
yeah, and I still some of the other smaller things were like the passing goal. They fixed that
Yes.
apparently.
I haven't had it scored
Um,
on me.
yeah, then the L trigger or LT
Ah,
speed burst thing is
yeah.
super annoying, especially if you play anybody that knows about it. It's just like it's just another dumb thing to get a speed boost. But Polks has been telling them about that for
He's been
probably
talking
over a
about it for a
month.
while, yeah. He's been talking about
Yeah,
it for a while. I think that'll be
and they
addressed.
I think it will too. And then hip checks are still just too easy to do, in my opinion. Like in the right spot, they should be done, sure. But like I shouldn't be able to take my guy on a forecheck and just fly down the ice on a forecheck, just turn my butt and stick it out and just flip a
It
guy.
is happening again.
And it's so easy to do it. Like I told the guys at EA, I said I abuse it, but I shouldn't be in the game. But if you're gonna leave it in the game, I'm gonna use it. So that's my motto, has always been that. I don't care if it's a glitch goal, whatever. If you're putting it in the game and I'm trying to win a hockey game, I'm gonna do it. So
yeah.
I just wish they would. I don't know. Going back to the pressure system, I just wish they would. I don't know. Just maybe figure out a way to. If you play Madden or NCAA football, like when you run your quarterback a gazillion times, he will fumble it like eventually, if that makes sense. So it's like that's the kind of thing
Is
I
that
wish they could find.
arcadey though? Like, because that's not
No, because I don't think it is because
that
you
feels like
should
a
be
mechanic
what do
added.
you when you watch a football game, a
Mhm.
running back isn't gonna keep running and running and running and like they're gonna swap a guy out because he's gonna be
Mhm.
exhausted, and that's what I mean by like if they had a better way to you know to have like some sort of stamina in the game where it shows that I don't know, it's just
I
I
got
just
it.
feel like it just seems so random, I guess, and I just wish it was more of a way to besides the pressure system, I wish there was more of a way to show
It would be
how guys
nice.
get tired.
It'd be nice now that thinking about it. If you don't cleanly line up a hip check, right? It should
Hmm.
trigger. It should trigger the slip animation,
Yeah.
because that would like so the slip animation what we were talking about earlier, how like the AI will literally just get like it'll slip by an opponent and it's the AI doing it. It's like a full new animation. It's one of the things that they talked about in their reveal trailer and stuff. If imagine if you were going slow and you put your butt to
Mhm.
like the forecheck, right? And it's just like a stupid hip check. Like it's not a hip check. You're literally just butt checking. Imagine your guy automatically slip checked because if they do that and you keep the puck, you're torched, right? Like, it's like
Right.
if that's on the rush or cycling the puck, like your guy is just able to get by, and maybe that would promote not doing it or
Well,
only doing it at the right time.
you know what's funny is, and Maisel makes a good point. Hip checks need to be removed from one button. That's the major issue. Honest to
Hmm.
God, he's kind of right because this was not a topic till last year, and they added
It's
total
too hard to
control.
do it. It's a
Now,
very
right
awkward buttoning
now,
sequence.
I use total control
Hmm.
because it's basically skill stick. I
Yep.
understand the line changes are a little different, but I got used to it.
You
But it's
switch. Did
like
you put the
you
second hand? Did you use the second hand?
um, I don't even know what I do. I just do it, and I never had any issues last year where I was like, oh my god, I had the line change, and I'm playing a sweaty, and I couldn't do it because I had to, I guess I used my other hand. I don't know.
That's what
I
I
don't even
do.
know what I
I
do.
I take my left hand off the left stick, put it on the directional pad, take my right if I have the puck,
Yeah,
I take my right finger and put it on
I
the
just do
left
it quickly.
thumbstick. Yeah, very, very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
how I do
and
it.
and,
Yeah.
and like I think it's actually maybe like somewhat of a better player sometimes because I slow the game down for a second
Yes.
and then I can like get it. But like honestly, I think he's right. Like the total control, I don't know what made them like, and it's fine. I feel like they basically just added it for the Michigan to be real honest with you. But like yeah, that is the main reason why I think it is such a big deal now is because of total control because you can
Hmm.
just hit a button and that's what I do. I just hit a button and I never used hip checks back in the day when it was with the skill stick. Like when you had like
I would love to know in the comment section if there's anyone that started playing in the last couple years, like you first picked up NHL for the first time, if total controls made it fun, because the whole point of total controls is to make a new player actually be able to play the game and use everything at your disposal. And from that standpoint, I can appreciate the fact that like no one thinks about the people that are just trying the game for the first time, because we're all nerds, we're all hardcore players, we're all obsessed with it, and we think it through the game through that lens, and that we should, because that's how we experience the game. But I think that like if you get your cousin who's just maybe getting into hockey and he's like, yo, you're like, yo, do a Michigan. Like, like they can at least do it now, right? Or a
yeah,
hip check thing. Like, that's the thought process, I'm sure.
I
But
got it.
I
Yeah.
agree. But I agree. There's far fewer of them, like brand new players that couldn't do that stuff, than the actual player base that now abuses it. I will say when I see someone that does it still, and we're talking about the hip check, so like when you hold down the hip check and you go into the corner on the forecheck, and people will do it to get there because when you run into someone, you're getting like you'll lose the puck, and I pass the puck so much now. As my camera goes out, sorry for any of the YouTubers. I pass the puck so much now that I don't really have that problem, and I think it's
Mhm.
because the game promotes cycling, and it looks the games I've played look more like real hockey, other than hucking it from the point the unscreened, because those don't go in 99% of the time in real hockey. But
Right.
there might be we might have a perfect in MLB home run type situation when you cycle the puck around and someone pulls a guy out of position and you hammer a 1T upstairs top corner like in the Ovechkin spot. I haven't been that satisfied scoring a goal in a long time. And I don't know if you feel the same kind of way about those ones.
No, I do, and I was another thing I told one of the devs is I just said I would just would like to see them take into account if you're gonna have a player like a Stamkos and Ovi, like sure, like they're better at it. They're like their sweet spots like a little larger. You know what I mean? Like they always make jokes about how
Oh,
like how Ovi can like he can
one
take a
T
one
from any
timer
feed, like in his
any like
window.
anywhere in his feed and he has window. I'd like the window to be more narrowed down. So like the guys that are better at it in real life, and it's not hard to you could literally just go watch games like I mean, I'm thinking guys off the top of my head: Stamkos, Ovi, Alex DeBrincat,
The Recital.
Drysdale, like just just different guys like that that are really good at it. And then you have guys like, and I've skated with them, so I know this, like Tarasenko, who
You
can't even
brought
take a
this up.
1T.
Yeah,
And I've said it for many times, like yeah, like sure he could probably take a 1T. Now, could he do it in a game successfully? No. That's why on the power play they always put him on the other side when everyone else puts guys in the forehands. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I wish I wish they would take more into account rather than just like everybody, like I always say like Ryan Reeves, because like it's just a joke to me, because like, but I like Ryan Reeves could take a 1T, or Matt Rempe, or
It's
just got
funny.
whoever.
It would be cool in the next game or an update. It won't happen now, but if the window for successfully getting off a 1T was bigger or smaller based on their slap shot rating.
Yeah,
Like, to take that into
honestly.
account. Or like, I know if you have the 1T is an ability I thought would be like super overpowered. It'd be the meta. Dude, you don't need it. That's the, you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem. 1T, I guess, makes the window bigger, but the window is so easy that like you really don't need it once you get the hang of it.
No, but my goodness, when you do without with that Ovechkin, it is nuts.
Yeah, and I wonder if like if Ovechkin and Matthews' shot is like the skating for Eichel and McDavid, because we know it's different. Like,
Yeah.
there's something about Matthews' shot every year that just, in Hut at least, there's something about it that just goes in more. And I wonder if Ovechkin and whatnot, because the one timers, like, I don't know, like, it's just yeah. Anyway, so I think that let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Everyone's been watching this video waiting for this part. So the good part of the game so far is gameplay, in my opinion. I'm sure there are people out there that don't like it, and I think that's why NHL will never be universally loved one year. Like, we will never have an NHL 14 until the game is long past, because what I enjoy won't be what you enjoy, and vice versa. But from what I have seen in my community, and I've had a couple thousand people come through my channel over the subathon, I have seen 95% praise of gameplay. That whether it feels fresh, it's different, they like what the changes are. So credit to them for that. There are fixes that need to be done, like we brought up, but I would take what we have now over the whoever is the fastest, go down the wing and huck it right through the middle, because your AI won't intercept it, and it's a backdoor one, or 23, where it is literally just quick wrapping. So if those are the last 2 years, and that's how you ended up having to play the game, I will take this iteration of the meta and getting 1Ts, because I can defend it. It's hard to defend, but you put a focus on it, bro. There's nothing like watching a guy who, especially, I don't want to single out a certain area of my country, but there is a certain selection of the player base that I go up against regularly that will sit there and just stare at their far side defenseman, and I will just select my far side winger, and I won't move. And when the AI starts to move, which again is a good thing, I just move with him, manually defend, play high, tight point, and puck side attack. I wouldn't go high pressure, because the circling in the middle, and it kind of leaves the slot way too open. But for example, that's what I would do, and I think that you'll find that you'll enjoy it quite a bit more. All right, let's talk about Hut. Bro, yesterday was a time. Worldwide launch was a time. Did you tune in for any of it?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay. So, I can't remember a time.
Like in your stream?
In my stream, yeah.
Yeah, and you looked like you were in a very, very enjoyable, fun mood. That's what I noticed when I came in there.
Bro, so 10 minutes before noon, I don't remember a time where I have been in that good of a mood. And you got to remember, I've been streaming at that point for 3 straight days. I have literally not ended my stream for 3 straight days. So it's not like I'm full of energy. My community, I don't want to say the community, my community, hype was off the charts. It was just like, even if it's bad, it can't be that bad, because even still, gameplay's good. This is gonna be a great day. We're gonna get to see our first run at how we're gonna play the game. I think we should do the same thing that we just did with gameplay. Let's start with the good. Okay, earning rewards immediately, big W. I think the XP path, in its core of how it works, in that you earn rewards immediately, that's a big win. If you were to ask me, hey, if I could earn Rivals and Squad Battle rewards weekly, the amount of them, would you rather them on one day throughout the week arbitrarily, or would you rather get them when you earn them? We would all agree, get them when we earn them. There isn't one person out there that would sit there and tell me that waiting until Wednesday night is better than you played X amount of games, you hit a certain tier of rewards, you get the reward immediately. Not one person would say that. So the process of the XP path is a good thing, and I think it will be a good thing. Wild card is Hut Rush, but cleaned up. and there's it's Hut Rush without the objectives being broken, and because of how it works, it's wins and losses, so it's not do deeks and scoring
Right.
the same way, and I think that that's a good thing because it's not forcing you to play away only for rewards. At the end of the day, if you're playing the game just for rewards and not actually enjoying the game, I think that that's an issue that we're all that you might need to go play a different game, or you like franchise. If you don't like playing the game but you're only playing for the rewards, go play franchise mode, man. Like, honest to God, because like I think that you would enjoy it more because franchise mode got quite a bit of love this year. So wild card, I had a great time during early access, and then worldwide launch happened last night. Hopped in. I'm in Division 2 now, and that's not a big flex, but I guess Division 2 is technically pretty tough right now because everyone's still, like, you know what I mean? Everyone's still close together. Skill-based matchmaking in wildcard. So every wildcard game, if you're a good player or a decent player, you're matching up against other good, decent players. And it's like, I played 20 games. I played Deeks. Like, I played Pizzetta. I played a couple other guys that qualified for GWC in the team phase. And I was just like, how am I matching I didn't get one game. Like, sure, matching up against tough players, that should happen, even without skill. CJ, I matched CJ and I had crossplay off. Like, you know what I mean? And the issue with
it even happen?
Dude, I don't understand. I don't understand it. And anyways, the issue with that is that I didn't match up with anyone where I beat their brakes off. Whereas I was getting matched up with dudes that would either kill me or were as good as me. And it was just like, by the end of it, was just like, good Lord, man. Like, I felt exhausted. I felt like I just sweated for 3 hours for a mode that's supposed to be fun. And I think that skill-based matchmaking does help the lesser player, and that's important. I think that in a mode like Wildcard, though, having no skill-based matchmaking might be where it, I don't know. It's such a hard balance that I don't think the gaming industry has fixed it all, because the better player you are, the harder it is always. Like, it's no break, right? Like, it's no, as a worse player, you'll get better at the game, and because you can get better at the game at a much faster rate than someone who is good trying to become great, you'll end up with those games where you get like 40 kills in COD, or like you'll beat someone 9-0, and it's just skill-based matchmaking in a mode like Wildcard was rough. But I still prefer it over Hut Rush. I saw a lot of people saying they'd rather have Hut Rush. Dude, the objectives didn't work. The mode was so inherently broken. I think that for Wildcard, though, the biggest fix, and this is what I said about Hut Rush too, just let us invite our friends. And because it's wins and losses, you don't need to track some crazy thing. If we win as a team, everyone on the team gets a win, and you work towards the wildcard path. If you make wildcard allow us to play with our friends and other people, dude, how much fun would you have just playing sixes? Because sixes is kind of broken, but that's from a mode standpoint, not so much gameplay. If you could bring, like, dude, we could do like a Coffee and Chel, just like, sixes, like playing flying through the wild card thing, right?
Right.
And I think that would make wild card a little bit better. It's very simple. I do like the draft of it, but unfortunately, I knew this would happen. We're still just getting bronze cards, Everyone's team is close together, though, which I enjoy. And I brought this up a lot, that if you're an offline player, a lot of people were complaining that because they're squad battle players or offline players, that it's unfortunate that they have to play on Superstar because that's how they get the most points for it. Whereas on online, you get almost double for a win or a loss. And I was like, hey, try online. You get more you basically get the same amount as a loss that you do for a win on Superstar. And if you get a win, you get 100 points or 1,000 points towards this thing. The amount of people that said, hey, I was kind of scared to try online because I'm not very good, that said I'm actually winning games and enjoying it. It's a great introduction to being an online player. And because it's skill-based matchmaking and you don't play rivals very well, like, you're going to match up against like-minded players. So I think it's a great introduction to playing online. And I think that online should always be rewarded more than offline players, simply because it's in offline you can legitimately manipulate. Online, it's
Right.
much harder to do so. You're still manipulating, but you know what I'm saying. Like you, so I think that the wild card path and how you quickly you get through that, or not quickly, I think it's in an okay spot. But again, there are some changes that I think I'd make. I want to just use event cards and MSPs, man. Like that's what I want. I want to be able to select 3 MSPs from the event that I don't have that I could try, especially because I'm not going to be able to make many of them. So in wildcard, let us use multiple MSPs from the event, and I think that that might be a little fun because we're still using so many silvers, you know,
Yeah.
just like Rush was.
I think it'd be cool too, like kind of like MLB, where your XP could be from any mode to go to HUD also.
Franchise
Even
and
though I
World of
know,
Shell.
yeah, like I just think because if you make it so tedious to do it or whatever, and that's fine. Like just because somebody plays franchise or plays World of Shell doesn't mean they're gonna for sure play HUD. But I think it'd be cool to like reward people for playing all the time, no matter what it is. Even like like yeah, like franchise and world, maybe even just World of Shell. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I think it'd be cool to do that. I've also with the XP path, I've gone. I don't know. I've gone back and forth with like some of the ideas because I've seen different ideas. I think Polgs might have mentioned like have like 6 ultimate packs throughout the thing or something like that. So like I'm just making up something, but if they gave everyone like a 99 by the end of each path, because how long does a path take? Like or like somebody said it's like how many weeks is it basically
It's
supposed to?
8.
So 8 weeks. So by the end of 8 weeks, if they gave you a 99, and I know that's like whoa, right? But 8 weeks is a while, I think. And would it really crush the progression if they gave somebody a 99 every like 60 some odd days or 50 some odd days? Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe even before 99, they give somebody a 95 at 7 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Just something where it's like if you're grinding that, there is that actual carrot to chase. I mean, because if you remember MLB, like I know we always use MLB, but use MLB a few years ago. Remember the year of like the Kershaw and like all those guys that you would get through their XP thing that everyone was like grinding to like knock those out. You know what I mean? And it kept you playing. I just feel like there's nothing that makes me being free to play. Like, and we'll get into the whole free to play, like
Yeah.
because you're doing the not a dollars. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure,
brother.
So
I'm trying.
and I told you I would give it a shot if there was legitimate, like a legit or like yeah, or like they should put team builders in the XP path. Maybe I mean then it kind of defeats the purpose of team builders. Maybe so I don't know if that's what they want, but
I see what
just
you're saying.
anything.
You're seeing
Yeah,
a massive carrot to chase throughout the team builder. I don't know if
yeah, yeah.
99 in NHL is far different than 99 MLB though. So like
Okay,
that's but the Eichel at the end. So like the card they actually put at the end, the Eichel card at tier 60, is probably the best card in the game, and it probably won't be at the time when we get there,
right.
8 weeks from now. But it's still an exceptionally good card that will be on your team, especially if you don't spend money for, God, at this rate, months. I think what needs to happen, I said this before the drop of the worldwide release when we got to see the first XP path. They made so many changes to how the economy works. It's completely different. This is a completely new era of Hockey Ultimate Team. What we are used to and how we played the game for the last 10 years and how we built our teams and how we and used our rewards, all of that has been very similar for 10 years. And we always complain that there's no change. But when they make such a drastic change, and I don't want to say I don't even know how you would have tested it, because there's the new tech involved. Like it needed to be developed to actually be able to release rewards like this. But man, it is so jarring that team building in HUT for NHL 25 is cooked. Like I don't know. Well, I do know how they salvage it, but I don't think they'll do it. They need to release packs or put packs in the XP path that give us set fodder to be able to chase these high end cards. Because if not, if you just accept the rewards they have, and because there's no massive pack dump from squad battles or rivals anymore, there is just no way that you can save everything to make one of these cards. And I don't think everyone should have a team fully loaded of these guys. But it would be great if it was possible, you know? And it's so early on, and maybe it will be possible. But the reaction after worldwide launch, like my vibes were shot. Like because I was so excited about the gameplay and we've got instant rewards, and we've got stuff to chase, and they have all of the tools that necessary to have the best Hockey Ultimate Team game mode that we have ever had. And I just feel like the appropriate people are not in a position to succeed. This is what I would say to any of the developers that are making content. I don't think they're dumb. I think they're humans. I think they're trying things. I don't think they've ever grinded Hut for a year. And I think that when you have people that are not grinding the game or have not spent a year with 1,000 hours, something obnoxious, like something that isn't healthy or normal, but if you don't have one of those people that are in your ear, at least at the table, then you have people that are going to come up with ideas that they think will work, and they're just inherently going to be very poorly received. And what I would challenge any of the content developers is you show me your account of no money spent, not spending $1. You show me how you got a hologram or a team builder card or even built your squad, no money spent, and I will tip my cap and not say a bad word at all for the rest of the year. Because I don't think that any of them have gone through the grind, and I don't blame people for not going back to work after you've spent work. Like when I play video games for a living. Let me tell you, when the stream ends, I don't sit down to play more video games, so I can appreciate that. But I need to see, for my opinion to change as to what's going on, I need to see, without spending any money or spending hours on the market, because the menu system is not fun. Show me how we're supposed to use the XP path and the rewards that are available to us to actually acquire these things. And we're so early on. So, like I want to state that just because we can't get the best cards immediately, doesn't mean that the game is bad. It means that it's a change from prior years where you could have, last year, no money spent, I had Lemieux and I had 4 team builders and I had a bunch of icons or X factors, right? But I did it without spending $1 in the game, And even if you spend money in the game right now, the packs aren't in the store that are needed to help the market actually succeed and come down. Because I know you haven't paid attention to this part, but the cost is so high because there isn't any packs in the store that give you 75 and above player items. They're all 80 and above. There was more McDavids in the market than entire Seattle Kraken players. Like, that can't happen. That is a fundamental economic issue in the game. And what's crazy is the cost for these cards, the 77s and the 76s, is only going up now. It is only going up now until EA releases packs, because people still buy them, which I used to always be like, even this past week, I used to be like, hey man, if you're going to buy packs, sorry for the rant, if you're going to buy packs because you want to substitute time for money and you are well off and you work really hard and you've got a ton of money and you want to put a few hours into a game you love, whether it's Hut or FIFA or Madden, and that is how you enjoy the game, but you don't have time to grind out all the stuff that the normal grinders would, so you spend money, I totally understand that, because I used to be that, and that's normal, and that you should do that. But man, there will not be any change until a significant amount of packs are not opened, and the packs right now in the store will not give you enough value for your money. Like, what's crazy is EA just needs to make better packs, and it would probably solve the issue, which drives me up the wall, because that means that more people are going to buy packs when they eventually release these things, and then the circle is just going to continue. There isn't going to be any fundamental changes at the, and we're just, here we are. Like, this is it. Like, this is the cycle, which I saw on Reddit, and I saw on my YouTube comments that I wasn't bashing EA, and that frustrates me, because I've been doing this for a long time now, and I don't think that these people are bad people. I legitimately just think that there is not someone at the table that fully understands the normal player. They have not grinded the mode, not even an unhealthy amount, just played through from start to finish in Hockey Ultimate Team, and that I don't see how it's going to be fixed. because people keep ripping packs. I have been no money spent. I haven't spent $1 in this game in over 2 years. And if I'm the #1 most watched Hut creator, just Hut, and I haven't spent any money, and my entire content is, hey, these are the cards you should go after. This is how I built my team by not spending any money. You should do this if you want to do that. You don't need to spend any money. You'll get a full 99 team. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. People are expecting me to go and stand on a soapbox on Twitter and just bitch and moan publicly. That won't do anything. That will not do anything. All I can do, and I can promise you, is speak to them in a Discord or wherever I can access them and say, guys, these are the issues. This is how I would fix it. Something needs to happen. Whether you take my ideas or use them, I don't care. Just involve people that spend thousands of hours in your game and float an idea and be like, hey, if we did this, what's the temperature of the community? And if you have the 10 biggest communities in Hut go, yo, that ain't gonna fly, we can avoid some of this stuff. If you would have floated that XP path, what they released, if they just showed us, and even if they said, hey, we're gonna stick with this, but we want your feedback on it. I want to see your feedback on it, right? And maybe we can make quicker changes, or maybe we could, address some of the things like the fact there's no 75 overall cards in the game. If that happens, like, maybe we can impact some change quickly. It's not like a gameplay thing, bro. When you have a problem with gameplay for years, right? If a game changer goes up and says, hey, this has been in the game forever. We got to figure out a way to do this. That could take 2-3 years of actual dev time to code a fix, right? Like, I can't think of an example, though, bro, like of a gameplay thing that we've talked about for years that's been in the game. I don't know if you can give me an example.
Like glitch reps, maybe?
Yeah, like the glitch traps. Yeah, like glitch traps. Like, that takes patches. That takes coding. That takes developers sitting down, not working on the next game, and saying, hey, we got to figure out how to fix this. Could take 2 years, right? Content is yeah.
I was going to say, to be blunt, we all knew this was coming. It's like all they do is follow FIFA and Madden, saying like this has been in FIFA and Madden, this XP path.
But FIFA is rewarding, and they give weekly rewards still. I don't play FIFA, but
I think FIFA might be the most advanced, and then even Madden follows FIFA. But like when I played Madden this year, because I got the code, and I was like, oh, I'll try out Madden. I haven't done it in a long time. It's like after like a week of Ultimate Team, I was already like, well, I can't keep up. You know what I mean? Because I didn't spend money. So like maybe if they follow FIFA in the future, maybe it'll be way better. Because it's like I always feel like they're just like 5 steps behind all those other games, and they just follow their path or their progression. Because like I said, like Madden's still that way where it's like if you don't spend money in Ultimate Team, you're screwed.
It's
but
tough.
Like I told you already. Like if you do that 99 player thing that I said, where it's like every 8 weeks you get a 99 overall, and don't make it McKinnon, don't make it McDavid.
It needs to be a choice. It would need to be a choice pack.
Maybe not even a choice pack. Maybe take the person. I don't know. Like something. Maybe a choice pack. I don't know. Something where it's unique players that they're star players, but they don't always get like super cards.
They don't.
Like Zach Hyman. I don't know. I'm just making up something. Kaprizov, like just something crazy where it's different. Like not the McDavis, McKinnons, but what I'm saying is, if you did 3 99s, that's literally 24 weeks into the game or whatever. That wouldn't be until like March 20 something that you're literally you'd only have 3 99s by then. I don't think that would ruin the game by having 3 99s by March 25th or something like that.
Or allowing Eichel to upgrade.
That too, but
allowing Eichel to upgrade would go a long way as well.
Right, because like you said, like I love Eichel, but like 87 Eichel is not going to matter in 8 weeks that much. Like it's just I don't know. I just don't understand like even when I see the XP path, even all that like minutia in between Eichel, it's just like green, orange, green, purple, green,
those packs. So this is what my fear was, is that their rewards would be so conservative that what needed to happen after seeing what happened in early access. What needed to happen is they needed to pump that XP path full of packs that give us set fodder, and then we can make our decision. I want to read something to you. This is from CF Plays. Someone in my chat just said it's day 0. If you play the game by December, you'll have a good team. I want to point something out here. The XP path is 8 weeks long, 55 days. It removed squad battles and rivals rewards weekly. Even if you couldn't get Elite 1 in squad battles, and let's say you were Division 3 and only got Diamond, not even Ultimate, right? You would still end up with about 20, 30 packs of actual stuff you can pull. This is the total XP path, all right? The XP path guarantees, again, 55 days, 8 weeks long, 77 and above cards. That's it. Like, full stop. That's where the conversation ends. 7. And when you do that, it is so egregiously pointing towards, I can't get anything to make stuff that I want. So, where are we going to go, fellas? Where do we go to get more stuff if we can't get it?
And then that comment in the chat, Jay Lane says, how about we try no 99s for once? Do you remember the year that they gave us on Mike Richards? I think it was Mike Richards, Paul Bissonnette, at Christmas. I'm pretty sure they were 99s. That did not break the game, having one guy in your team that was a 99. Having 199 on your team in 8 weeks from now would not break the game for the whole community. I'm sorry. It just wouldn't. And just because you're a 99, I said this before, just because you're like a 99 or you got 99 this, it doesn't, or not, 95,
yeah.
My bad. But still, you get the point.
He's like famously like one. Yeah, he's like famously one of the most well-received cards.
He was amazing, but it was never like a thing where it was like, oh my god, like I don't know what to do when Richards is on the ice. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't think it would like ruin the game. This isn't like I mean, there's too many guys on a hockey team where it's like it stands out so much. I don't buy that. I just think there has to be something more to it. And like somebody else said in the chat, so I think it's a good idea too. Fantasy, why not make it at like XP spot 20? You get a fantasy card for every single team in the league. You get to pick like one guy. You know what I mean?
And it's and it's not a superstar of that team.
Not a superstar. It's just so like the Sharks could be Tyler Toffoli
or Eklund. But Toffoli might be the best one, but it might be like Eklund, for example, or something like that. Like someone who doesn't score like 30 goals, but you know what I mean? At least is someone on your favorite team. Like I said, the XP path before it happened, I said it needed to be 250 tiers and it needed to include substantial packs throughout. And because it needs to replace the weekly rewards, you know? And if, you know, we're all just frustrated. That's it. Every year we complain about lack of rewards and things like that. The tools are there in the game to actually give the rewards in a fun way. I haven't touched squad battles outside of maybe 2 games, dude. And the freedom of not having to play a mode that I hate is unbelievable and is, I think, overlooked by the community of how well and how good that is. That is a unbelievable change the Hut team did. That we do not have to play squad battles if we don't want to. Or you don't have to play rivals if you like squad battles. That is such a good change that makes the game so much fresher. And all that needs to hit is the rewards given to the player base so that we're not just playing versus with the ability to go buy an all-star team. That's it. Yep. You know? And I got to be honest with you. Anyone that's out there thinking about spending maybe even just... It's not the guys that spend $1,000 or $2,000. Those guys are out there. They're the whales. They have FU money, right? That's not what I'm talking about. It's the guys that, hey, I got the game. I love Hut. I'm gonna spend $100. Dude, $100 will not get you anywhere in the current store of what's being offered. I'm not saying the packs in the store aren't like buying, you couldn't buy a team. I'm saying there are not packs in the store that are worth your money that will actually give you somewhat near the value of what you're spending. Like, the packs in the store aren't even good. Like, you have to spend $600. I had someone come to my chat and said they spent $1,000 and they just got McDavid and that was it.
Yeah, like I think
you know what I mean? And there should be a grail card. There should be a grail card. I want to make that very clear. I've been said this for a long time. There should be a card that is so hard to get, such a flex, that's sick, right? But the value, you know what I mean? Like you could make Gretzky and maybe one other hologram for $1,000. You know, it's like it's just there aren't packs in the store. So if you're thinking about spending a couple $100, like wait. Like that's all I can tell you, because what is in the store and what is offered is not going to give you something that where you're like, sick, I'm in a good spot now. There's no, like, the packs include three cards. There's a pack that includes 3 cards. Like, they just don't give enough, and that's even if the people that want to spend money. So
Yeah.
I apologize if people are upset that I didn't, again, go on Twitter and make a gigantic rant, and try and shame publicly. I personally, as an adult, I can't stand Twitter because the interactions on there have just been so mindless over the last 2 years. What I did was I messaged the developers and I said, hey, we have an issue here. I would love to help. And if it's not me, everyone else would love to help. Let's just float some ideas here. Let's fix this, because I think the game could be a 9, like in HUT. The tools are all there. They're all there. All of the, you know what I mean? There's problems with the modes. Leaderboards are kind of scuffed right now. I don't know what happened. But hell, even seeing leaderboards as like, I was like in the top 1,000. I was like, kind of sick, being able to see who's played 97 games of Rivals in a day and a half. A little embarrassing, but fun to see. We didn't have to play squad battles. Like, dude, not having to play squad battles is such a W. If you don't want to. Again, if squad battles out there, I understand that you want to play that. We're right there, and that's the most frustrating part about all of this. We're so close, and we just need to get, enough with the money. But it's a money mode, and anyways. So
57 games in 5 days. We're gonna do a little weekly segment we called "How many games have we played in 5 days?" 57 games for General Bomber. Congratulations! Holy cow!
He's still around, huh? How many games have I played? Are you on Xbox?
I'm on Xbox, so we got a top 5 of 57 games for General Bomber. Spam hits with 54.
Do you remember Sisu?
49.
Do you remember Sisu? Like the
Young Gren with 41.
He's still playing? I haven't seen him anywhere.
Oh yeah, him, Sapster, Uninstall, they're all up there.
Oh, those guys, those guys are streaming when that's
5 days. They have 50 games. Holy smokes! Rivals, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess on 4-minute periods too. I guess that's
is that how long?
I think it's 4. It says burst on the ice and in the mode, but I think it's classic still because the games took a while. I saw someone with oh man, in early access it was like 117. I was just like, but hey, that means it's at least enjoyable.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, guys, you want to make sure you don't overplay video games so much so that it impacts your outside life. And I feel like playing, 10 hours. I mean, actually, who am I to say? I've literally been live for 110 hours. So,
it's your job. So,
yeah, but still, it's psychotic. It's legitimately psychotic. But anyways, before we get out of here, the season's about to start. Did you watch the Buffalo game? Did you catch anything?
Yes, I did watch it yesterday. Yes,
New Jersey looks like a way.
Markstrom played great.
Yeah, like that team, frustrating because I just can't stand the Devils. Markstrom looks like, man, if they just would have got Markstrom last year, they probably would have made the playoffs, but they just did not. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, we got to talk about the Swayman situation, dude. Prediction first? What happens?
I think he'll sign there. I mean,
for how much?
I don't know how. I mean, I think it'll be like $9 million.
Yeah,
I think
he's getting.
But I just don't understand why no one's offer sheeted him yet. Just because it's
that's 4 picks at that cost.
What is it? A first, a second, and
no, it's 4 after $7 million. That's 10 million.
What it was a first?
Someone in chat, give us the someone in my chat. Is it a first, a second, and a third? Maybe. You're right on that.
That's it. It's like you're getting a franchise goalie, and he's like 25.
And the Bruins will just match it though.
Yeah, well then they should.
I guess like that's you're like that's a good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess.
Wait a minute, I'd be begging a team to do it.
It's 4 firsts at 9 after 9 million. Yeah, no way. After right now, it's 2 firsts, 1 second, 1 third. 2 firsts, a second, and a third.
When you had your podcast on before you were back in the room before you started. Kiprios and them were talking about it, and that's when I heard. I was like, yeah, I wonder why no one sheeted him yet. And the guy that was on there with him said it was a first, a second, and a third. That's what he said.
Okay, a first, a second. Okay, if it's that price, man, like Detroit, Detroit would immediately become a playoff team. Who would be able to handle that?
That's what he said. I would offer 8 years at 9.1. It's a first, a second, and a third. That's what the guy said on there. That's what I would do. I would offer him 8 years, 9.1 million, and then whatever. Yeah.
I think the problem is, and what's funny is I don't even know if the Bruins would match because at that point, you know that both like the team and the player just don't not like each other, but it's like how bad, you know what I mean? Like, dude, the Bruins collapse here, and it's not mismanagement, but what they did was they hedged their bets on Swayman signing and not and took a bigger Allmark deal instead of not trading Allmark and then being able to sign Swayman and then taking a much less offer for Allmark. Because the second they moved Allmark, I said it on here. I was like, man, they just walked Swayman to all the leverage because they had to rush trading Allmark because I believe he had a modified no move after July 1st. So they got like a first and whatever, which was at the time I actually think is for a goaltender, regardless of how good they are, they always have low value, like in terms of trade value. And he's only got 1 year. So there's a real possibility things go bad in Ottawa. And I got to be honest with you, it's not a lavish lifestyle in Ottawa. Allmark's like, I'm good. I'm going to go play, in I was about to say Florida, not Nashville. What's it?
Anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I'm good. And then
you know where I would go if who should sign Swayman at a
what?
Is the Blackhawks should sign Swayman to an offer sheet. That's what I said.
Oh, no, man, no, you can't. Because they're not, I think it would make them very good and it would make them very good quicker. But bro, you're risking a first, like that Chicago roster, like you're still gonna be a top 5 pick.
Sure. I'm just saying you would get a franchise goalie. Just
I guess that's true. That is true. Like
franchise goalie, franchise centerman. Like
that, man, that would be, that's putting your nuts on the table. And I respect it.
That's a team though that like right now where it's like when I think of like somebody that like kind of like with you guys with a Skarov, it's like, like that was like okay, there's like your franchise goalie. It's like I try to think of teams that like literally need a franchise goalie that don't have any kind of goaltending like whatsoever. Like Peter Mrazek's fine for like whatever, but
yeah,
it's not like he's gonna be there in 5 or 6 years.
That's true. Goalie is the most replaceable position, but when you don't have one, it is very. You're right. It is very tough. Chicago's interesting. Yeah, dude, Vegas with the Leonard thing. They got cap space. Like they keep getting away with it. And like I think it's fine. It's all within the rules. And that's
if they dumped Aiden Hill, they might be able to fit him.
Yeah. And like, dude, they'll find a way. They'll probably go on LTIR because Aiden Hill's always hurt now. It's like they just keep getting away with it, and it's hilarious to me. Like I tweeted
that the Wings need goalies though, but the Wings have like 7 goalies right now that are NHL.
The Wings need like a first line player. They have an entire team of second liners, and I know it's like but Lucas Raymond. It's like, bro, I'm talking like a 90-point player. Like they need a.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's there's a few teams that I guess I could see, but I like you said, like honestly. When you think of like goaltending, though, like Vegas would be pretty sick if Vegas somehow got.
Could you imagine they offered you Swayman but they don't have the first round pick because it's the Sharks now. Well, it's technically Nashville's now, but dude, it's just I like the Leafs. We've talked about that quite a bit. So I don't like the Bruins. I never have, but I love the Red Sox and Patriots in the city of Boston. So the weirdest thing ever. I don't know why. I've just always disliked the Bruins. Watching their downfall it's just hilarious because if they lose do you think that there is a position in which he does not play for the Bruins this year? I don't. I think he'll sign. I think they'll sign him.
I think he will too. But at this point, it's like, I don't know. It's the bad blood so bad where it's like
11 million for 1 year, and then like they got to do it again.
Yeah, I texted Grinelli from Spit and Chicklets about it because he's like a Boston.
He's a Boston guy, yeah.
And I'm like, there has to be more to it than. There has to be more to it than just like the money, right? At this point, he goes, "There's more to it," and it's like they said there that the whole
You see the Amazon Prime thing?
I did. I was about to ask you. I watched the first 2 episodes last night. So the Nylander and Pasternak, and then the Forsberg and Eichel. I was disappointed with that they picked Swayman and Pasternak. Like, why don't you mix it up a little bit? Like, don't have the same team. But I thought of like the first one they went like balls to the walls on at least, and then like the second one was kind of like not as crazy. Part of it was because it had like that Bruins and Leafs series, so it was like so magnified, and I feel like they just put so much more into it. And then the second episode was just like All right, Nashville. They might make the. Oh, they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, Vegas Cup winner. Oh, and then both teams lost in the first round. And it's like, all right, and we're done. Like that was. It was just kind of like it just kind of was like a letdown. I feel like compared to the first one. So I'm gonna watch like probably two more tonight, just because I love that stuff. It reminds me so much of the HBO 24/7.
It reminds me of 30 and 30.
Yeah, it's
I
just so
loved
much.
ESPN 30
It's
for
so
30.
much better than whatever the NHL's been doing the last like 5 years with the quest for the cup stuff. I just think this is so much more raw. Like, I mean, did anybody ever think, like, I know it's like the viral clip of the week, but like, did anybody ever think McDavid was like that behind closed doors?
No.
I mean, maybe sure he was, he was intense, but did anybody ever think he was going bananas like that?
When you see him on the bench and he's quiet,
Mhm.
him
Or
not
in the
going
media.
out, him not going out for the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
Like everyone roasted him, like, dude, that's disrespectful. How could you not? You know what I mean? Like all that stuff, like not wanting the Conn Smythe and stuff like that. And it's like then you see in the background where he's just losing it because he's exhausted trying to drag him around. You know what I mean? Like just man, like that is they did such a good job on that. But the Swayman, just to wrap up the Swayman thing, the fact that he's like, I wrote down everything they said. Arbitration is ugly, man. You're basically arguing against why you don't want this player. You know, like that's essentially what you're doing. And I would love to hear more from arbitration players. It's very rare. You see it in football all the time because they franchise tag, right? That's why guys hold out, because a franchise tag in the NFL is you get one season and I believe you get an average of the top 5 players. So it's an exceptional amount of money. But it's like you're not guaranteed, and you're afterwards, like it's a 1-year deal. So if you get hurt, you're toast. And like Swayman is setting the goalie market for elite RFA, like like that, like tier, and he has all the leverage, and he's performed. He's basically single handedly eliminated the Leafs. And I
Right.
know it's LOL Leafs. That's 100-point team with a 60, almost 70 goal score on it. You know what I mean? Like,
It's funny. It's funny too because this is like the first time the Bruins are in a spot where they've never like had to deal with something like this, because everyone always takes the pay cut. I mean, Pasta didn't take the pay cut, but like
Bergeron, like that whole like era, like
that whole
next man
the
up,
whole like
next man up.
yeah, the whole like, oh, we're gonna do it because everyone else is doing it type of thing. Like that's completely like gone now. It seems like, you know what I mean. Like they're all it's great. It's crazy.
And
honestly.
he knows that, and it's funny. Like I said, it's all like for Bruins fans out there that are mad at Swayman, dude. You literally gave him all the leverage. Like their management handled this so poorly. It can't really go out there and be like, he's got 64 reasons. Even if that's true, which then Swayman's agent is like an absolute meat grinder though. Like he is one of the most hardcore. He was in the Nylander agent as well, who had to set the market for himself again because Nylander came up first before Marner and Matthews, and then Dubas had to give all his buddies the best ever of everything, and ended up kind of tanking the Leafs' ability to really put together a cup-winning team. But the Swayman thing, he's like, he knows he has all the leverage, and he wants to be paid a little bit less than Shesterkin, and he doesn't have a Vezina, but he's got a Jennings, and you could argue that he did just enough as Allmark to, you know what I mean? Like, so how does he have leverage? Someone in my chat asked, you traded away your other starting goaltender and brought in a goaltender that is one of the worst statistically in the last 2 years in Korpisalo, and you need a good goaltender for the Boston Bruins because that was their strength. And Swayman knows that if he leaves, the Bruins probably aren't a playoff team. Like, realistically, if we're being honest here, they always find a way. The Bruins are always surprising. They always find a way. But that he knows that is there's no more Allmark. All they had to do was take a hit on the Allmark trade, keep him on the team, sign Swayman, and then trade Allmark for pennies, right? And I guess that, yes, I guess depending on how good the Ottawa first-round pick is, we'll see. But he's an RFA, though, so if he sits, he's still an RFA next year? Absolutely, 100%. But he wants to be walked further into, you know what I mean? Like, he knows that his contract now will dictate, like, the rest of his life. He's done enough to earn, in my opinion, his big contract, And getting nickel and dimed, he doesn't have to be nickel and dimed. The Bruins have no backup. They have no backup plan. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing else they can do. They have to have Swayman if they want to be a contender. And that's how they has all the leverage. And he could just sit out. And he literally might just sit out. So.
All right.
That was fun. Anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out for episode 102. We'll be back next week to see if anything's changed. And, the start of the NHL season. So let's go. Are you going to the home opener of the Blues?
Yeah, I'm going home opener.
I got to go. What are you playing?
Baby Shark. My favorite song. It's my theme song.
We're gonna get DMCA'd. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.